The area I'm standing in right now would best be described as nondescript. I'm here in Mannion Corners near Carp, Ontario. In 1989, it's alleged that this area directly behind me was visited by beings from another world. In the area directly behind me, it is alleged that an alien spacecraft not only visited, but crashed right here in Mannion Corners near Carp, Ontario. The craft was allegedly dismantled by members of National Defense and the U.S. Armed Forces and taken to a secret underground facility in Canada, where it was reassembled. The bodies of the extraterrestrial inhabitants were then, allegedly, taken to the University of Ottawa, where a series of experiments were performed upon them. Further compounded by the addition of a tape sent by somebody going only by the name Guardian. The gentleman in question, or woman for that matter, has never been identified. But we are here to answer the question of not only did this incident take place, but what the story has to say. So, you know, this crash in Carp, do you think it happened?
Well, you know, there's video evidence of it, right? So it's like, how could it not be real? Is what I'm getting at.
Well, you've actually got a sketch there.
Well, yeah, this looks to be what the looks to be.
Maybe there's like different kinds of aliens.
Yeah.
Do aliens, that's the real question, is do aliens...
Do they have like the equivalent?
Have ghosts?
Well, I want to know if they have the equivalent of like, you know, obviously there's humans and we have like, you know, our close relatives like, you know, primates. What are we related to? Like chimps? Primates?
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Most closely related to chimps in terms of extant species, and then obviously like other primates.
Now, like, do aliens have some form of equivalent to that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's something I've always thought about.
Are there chimpanzee aliens?
Yeah.
Or what if chimpanzees are aliens? What if that's why they're so smart? I saw a video once of that gorilla did sign language.
That's tough. They got you locked up for life, my boy. The hell wrong with you? Hey, yo!
The legacy of the Guardian case has echoed through the town of Carp, Ontario for many years. I'm standing in front of the Ridge Rock Brewing Company, where, several years ago, a beer was actually created to commemorate the incident. Although the beer was discontinued several years ago, the brewmaster was kind enough to provide us with some old labels. The design of the labels indicates the mystery surrounding the identity of the sender of the Guardian tape, with a VHS tape, like the one that was received, and a fingerprint indicating the scant clues as to the sender's true identity. Though many locals we spoke to in this town knew of the legend, many were hesitant to discuss it on camera. One has to wonder, why are people so concerned with having their faces and names associated? All this talk of drinking made me thirsty, and it was then I realized that one of my drinking buddies had once told me a relevant story.
There was 3 lights in the night, were stagnant, but kind of shaky, and then they moved around in different directions, and they converged into one and took off really fast. And I thought, oh, well, those are UFOs because we can't identify them, and people see them all the time, apparently. God knows what they are. Anyways, so I was thinking that. So the bright light, I was like, oh, and I got to turn this way towards this thing. I was a little nervous about it. But then the bright light just got sort of sucked up into the sky. Like, well, there wasn't a sound like that, but like, and I was still driving. I had to pay attention to the road. But like, yeah, like that. And it was like very dark because this is the countryside. So the roads weren't lit up. They're like, just like that. Sorry, folks. Like that. And then all of a sudden, It looked like it took off, but it didn't, you couldn't even see it leave. It's just gone. And that's it. That's solid.
Phil wasn't making a whole lot of sense, but he did give me a free drink, and somewhat less importantly, an idea.
I don't know anybody personally who's been probed or taken away or anything like that. But I mean, like, it's a big universe, and the universe is beyond that, this one, and beyond that.
Fortunately, my dad was in the Army, so he almost certainly knows about aliens.
In 1989, I was one of 3 directors in the Public Information Division here in Ottawa, National Defense Headquarters, and that's why I can say with some certainty that we certainly never got involved in it from a PR point of view. Not even the traditional neither confirm nor deny. I do not recall any official concern over the UFO incident in Carp. I looked it up and they talked about an underground military facility, I think. I don't know of any underground military facilities in this area. And certainly that sounds highly speculative and imaginative to me.
But just like he lied about Santa Claus and cigarettes making your teeth whiter, and what he was doing with his secretary, I suspected my dad was lying about aliens. However, he did say something that was most likely true.
Yeah, my first-hand experience was when I was a second lieutenant in the garrison in Montreal, and as duty officer we kept a log of all the incoming calls and incidents that happened. We had a guy named Mr. Hipple who used to phone in regularly and report seeing UFOs over Mount Royal, and we kind of looked forward to Mr. Hipple's calls because it was pretty boring sitting around at night, and his calls cheered us up a lot, although we logged them and said thank you very much, and I don't think any of them were ever investigated.
That's a real shame. Mr. Hipple might have just been seeing something. So you think that with regards to the 89 crash in Carp, do you think there's anything to that?
No, I think it was it happened, but I think it was a hoax. And from what I understand, as hoaxes go, it wasn't bad. But it certainly wasn't enough to convince anybody in authority that it was anything to worry about. And
how do you feel about the possibility of alien visitors on Earth more generally?
Well, I suppose anything's possible. A lot of stars out there, a lot of planets. Mathematically, I suppose it's a possibility, but why would they want to come here?
You don't think that Carp, Ontario would be of any particular interest to them?
I don't think it would be very, very high on their must-visit list, no.
Carp has a lot of cows.
Yes, and that's their primary resource, right? That's why they abduct them.
Well, then you lay cows.
Yeah.
You know. I mean,
is it for pleasure, or is it for food, or is it for pleasure?
I don't think they really know. I mean, they basically just take all their organs out and leave them raw. So unless they really like the organs,
well, fair enough. That's how I eat my cows. So
I mean, I think that it's also possible that aliens cause tornadoes, because tornadoes pick up cows. I saw that in that documentary, The Wizard of Oz.
Oh yeah. I saw that documentary.
There was some
That was a good one.
Yeah, no, although it's interesting because I did talk to the people who own the property. They don't want anyone to film on it. Well, but if it's just a swamp, why would you care?
Well, it's just it, because they're hiding something.
But fortunately, right next to where it crashed, there is a public park.
We'll put it this way, public or not, I've never been one to care about property rights. You know what we need to do, right?
We gotta go to Carp! Yeah. So, we're out here. Jeremy and I were about half a kilometer from the site of the crash, and we're gonna try to get abducted. So let's see what happens. All right, aliens. What are you gonna do
if they find us?
Yeah, if they what are you gonna do if they come?
I don't know. I don't have plans this weekend. I'm pretty much open to anything.
You're pretty much open. Well, you get your probe me sign, so
I like to have fun.
Yeah. Try anything once, huh?
Yeah, you can't knock until you try it. Right?
I mean, do you think it might hurt though? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. Depends on what kind of lubricant they got on fucking Mars.
Oh yeah. Well, you probably got something. They gotta get something pretty, you know. I mean, if they made it all the way here, they're probably pretty advanced.
Yeah, they gotta be. They probably be prepared, you know.
What are you hoping goes down here, Jeremy?
Honestly, not much. I'm trying to get out of the cold, so I'm either hopping back in the Audi 5000 or I'm getting abducted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
True.
Like, what if they don't have heating on the ship? You know, what if they're evolved for the cold and empty vacuum of space?
Well, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to leave you on your own then, if that's the case. So I'll give that to you.
shit.
I think I got to get moving. You know, I think the car's losing a little heat there.
Shit.
So
Come on, man. All right. Well.
out of here, shut the cameras off.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. Well, Jeremy's left, so we got one last ditch effort. We didn't get abducted, but I think that the truth is still out there, and who knows? Maybe we'll come back, try it next week. We'll just have to make sure Jeremy's wearing a sweater this time. Tune in next time to Abduct Me when I try to sneak into Roswell by pretending to be the president's wife.